Just imagine if a Shaolin monk started studying in a regular school. What would happen to the other kids? Something like this happens in our story today. The story begins with a boy named Li who was learning Kung Fu at a Shaolin academy. He had been training there since birth. One day Li went to the temple of the academy and apologized, because what he is about to do might not be right. At that moment, a warrior attacked him from the side. Li was startled by the sudden attack, but he somehow managed to face the strike. The warrior threw him against the wall, but Li jumped back. He attacked the warrior's chest while still in the air, and within moments, he defeated him. Then it was the turn of a swordsman warrior. Li also defeated him with his skill. After this, he moved towards the third warrior. However, that warrior was sitting in meditation. But still, hearing Li's approach, he threw his beads at the mirror, which dazzled Li's eyes. In the next moment, he lifted Li and slammed him to the ground. The warrior was just about to win when he slipped and escaped, and then a fierce fight began between the two. In the end, Li won. Then he bowed in the temple and went outside. O suava avveniva un paese. The teacher at the Gurukul told him that he showed the most skill in the exam, so he would get the chance to go to a new school in the city. In the city, he would stay with a family of 3 people, which includes 2 children and their father. That man is actually a scientist who knew the teacher from the Gurukul. After this, Li set off for the new city. In the new school, there was a 15-year-old boy named Feng, who was a taekwondo player. His younger sister, Shansine, loved her brother very much. The school's taekwondo club was managed by Land. She watched Feng's matches and pointed out his mistakes so he could improve. Land's brother was a glutton. All he thought about was food all the time. The 4 of them were good friends and lived nearby. Actually, Li was going to stay at Len's house. Their father, Dr. Han, was working hard. His wife had passed away many years ago, so now he was engrossed in work. He was preparing a special device that was eyed by the city's thugs. The doctor called the children, but Land was not happy because her father never came home. The doctor promised to come soon and asked them to open a gift. Pet that he had sent home. Actually, that box contained the device that the goons wanted to steal. Just then, Li knocked on the door and Lan brought her inside. She took her to show her the room, and meanwhile, her father was captured by the goons. The gang leader, Larry, threatened the doctor to hand over that device. The doctor said that there is no such device. He explained that he is working on AI technology so that his children can talk to a robot with their mother's voice. But Larry did not believe him. He found out from the CCTV footage that the device had already gone to the doctor's house. Then 2 of Larry's henchmen stepped forward to take on the task of stealing the device. Sloppy and Fist were quite happy because this was their first mission after becoming goons. They disguised themselves in strange clothes and stood outside Lan's house. One of them decided to break in at night, but then the other said that the kids would go to school anyway, so let's steal it during the day. What's the problem, brother? Li was learning the ways of the new city at home. He saw Lan watching a taekwondo match and found the sport interesting too. At night, when he was meditating, a debate broke out between the two due to Yuki's video game. Lo, daitai naikisa. But soon, Pot and Chun both started enjoying video games together. Meanwhile, when Lan opened the gift box in her room, a panda keychain came out. She didn't know that this panda was actually the pen drive that those thugs had been after for so long. When Lan pressed the button, the panda asked her to set a password. That's when Lan said, "What password?" and unintentionally set it as the password. Then, upon turning on the panda, she discovered that it had her mother's voice with artificial intelligence. The next morning, Li, Yu, and Lan set out for the first day of school. Those 2 goons saw the kids leaving and decided to execute their plan. But then, one of them noticed the panda chain that Lan had hanging from her bag. Now they paid Zen. Now they made a plan to snatch the device from Land. On the way, Land introduced Li to Fang. At that moment, the thug secretly stole the chain and ran away. Then Li noticed him and, showing his agility, caught the thug quickly. Fang also came to assist him. And together, they gave that thug a good beating. But that thug still didn't give up and once again ran away after stealing the panda. This time, all the friends together fit him into a trash can and rolled him down the street. Then the children in Li's school class were amazed to see a Shaolin warrior They started asking him if he could ever get married. They asked him all sorts of questions. Can you ever get married? Brother, show us kung fu once. Brother, just show us once. Brother, show us kung fu once. It'll be fun. Finally, the teacher calmed them down and said that we would do all this during the play period. During the play period, their coach informed them that next month their agility would be tested and whoever does not pass would not be able to move to the next class. Hearing this, Yu was nervous because he was very fat. God knows he had a lot of trouble walking. Then the coach made everyone run 100 meters. Lee finished 2 laps before time while the other kids were still on their first lap. After that, they were asked to do push-ups in which Lee was already an expert. He did more than 100 push-ups while the other kids couldn't even do 2. Ladder, Higimati, he even started doing push-ups with one hand. Seeing his skill, all the kids started jumping. Then came the turn for high jump. This was a piece of cake for Lee. The poor guy collapsed on the ground with just a move there in Dr. Han's lap. Larry had tied him to a chair and was annoying him by hitting him with a golf ball. At night, those 2 goons sneaked into the house when they got a chance. Just then, Lee noticed them and hid behind a toy to scare them, but they soon spotted him and attacked when they got the chance. When Land arrived there, the goons had stolen the panda and escaped. Lee told Land and Yu the whole story, but they thought he was joking. After that, we see both of those goons lying down with golf balls in their mouths. Actually, they mistakenly stole a perfume that looked similar to panda stain. Larry has to sell a special device to a company within 3 days, and that's why he started feeling anxious. In great anger, he aimed at those 2 goons with a golf ball and ordered them to bring the special device as soon as possible. The next day at school, all the kids were watching Feng's taekwondo match. Meanwhile, Yu and Shanshan started talking about 2 ugly girls sitting behind them. Those girls were none other than the 2 goons who had come there in disguise. The panda appeared on the Land's back and they both waited for the right moment to steal it. At that moment, Lee challenged Feng to a match. All the children ran forward to watch this entertaining match. Now, seizing the right opportunity, the goons tried to steal the panda from the bag, but in the process, their fake hair got stuck there. Meanwhile, there was an intense clash between Feng and Lee in the match. Both were overpowering each other. Eventually, both decided not to fight each other anymore, and the match ended. At that moment, everyone turned around and recognized those 2 goons. The children together launched an attack on them. However, this time they ran away with the panda device by threatening to harm a girl. Then the children went to the principal and called the police to explain the whole situation. Meanwhile, Lee was blaming himself for everything because if he hadn't challenged Feng, so that Land would not go far from her back. But the other children reassured her that she should not think that way. Finally, Larry got the device in his hand and ran a program on the computer, but he needed a password to use it, which he did not know. He called some programmers to unlock it, but even after the whole day passed, nothing was accomplished. Now Larry was beyond furious. Just then, he saw a message from Dr. Han's daughter on his phone. Lan wanted her father to come home for her birthday tomorrow. Larry promised on behalf of Dr. Han to attend the party the next day. The following day, Lan and her friends were preparing for the birthday party. If he's sick, the rest left Lan alone at home to buy a gift for her. Then Lan received a message from her father that he had arrived outside the house. Di Martin Mark Iam Pone. But as soon as she went outside, someone kidnapped her and put her in a car. At the same time, Lee and his friends saw Lane in the van and started following on their bicycles. Finally, they all reached Dr. Han's lab and began searching for Lane. Meanwhile, Larry and his business partner were having an argument because Larry was going to sell him the special device the next day. But so far he doesn't know the password. Now Larry in anger held a knife to Lan's throat and started asking her for the password. Lan replied, "What password?" And at that moment the program started. The 2 thugs at the start were guarding the hideout outside. Lee and Feng attacked them and took them down in just moments. But then they faced Larry's man, Bradley. He was also a dangerous fighter. Therefore, even together, Lee and Feng were not able to defeat him. Inside the lab, Larry's deal was about to be finalized when Yu quietly came in and freed his sister and father. Lee also arrived and fought the thugs. At the same time, Larry ran outside with the bag containing the pen drive. But Dr. Han, Yu and Lan teamed up to beat him up. Lee once again joined Feng to fight against Bradley. Finally, they both managed to defeat him. In the end, the police arrived and captured all the thugs. Later, the principal awarded medals to Lee and Yu for their bravery. If you liked the video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next video.